Coming up on the Summer Roast, we are back from LA and back in the recording studio. It is so good to be back. We talk all AFL news that's going around us.
It's awesome, Jev. We've got Mitch Cleary joining us in the second third. It was awesome. And then Lewis, Big Morgs comes back. He's been in America. He joins us where we chat a little bit of footy and everything NFL for this week. We have got so many good bets. Make sure you guys enjoy. Give it a listen. Alrighty, welcome back to the Summer Roast, everyone's favourite off-season pod where we talk everything AFL, NFL, NBA, the baseball's finished up, Jev. It has been awesome. Now also, quickly, if you are listening and you aren't already subscribing, get your phone out, get your laptop out, click the little button. It helps us out, helps out the channel, takes 1 second. And also, if you want to support the boys, you want to become a 100K tonner, you actually want to be part of the community, you can join us at the Discord, the Patreon. Only $2 a week, Jev. It's awesome. Access to the 100K multi every week, as well as everyone else in there, Jev. There's Sharks giving out their bets all season. It's a lot of fun, Jev. We've been everywhere. It is good to be back on the Summer Roast.
Oh, we missed last week, Das, because we went on a last-minute trip to LA. We had a good time. It's been crazy. It is good to be back in the chair recording.
It's awesome. Well, let's get into it, Jev. It's time for ups and downs. Do you have an up for us?
I've got it up, Das.
Okay.
In 20 minutes' time from right now, we are talking to Mitch Cleary, Channel 7's own, the absolute superstar. Mitch Cleary is jumping on with us. So that is my first up. He's good enough to give us a bit of his time, and it is just great to chat to him. He's an absolute lad.
He's just one of the boys. Yeah, I've got one up, Jev. I'm starting off. The Los Angeles Marathon. If you haven't done it, you might not get the same section that we did, but it is a 5-day event where it's just go, go, go. Now, we didn't quite complete it. We didn't quite, but if you get there on a Friday and it's Game 7 of World Series, Barney's Beanery, watch the Dodgers winning arguably one of the greatest games of all time. Have a big night. Get up early. Go to SoFi, Jev. Have a look around your tailgate. Then you go watch the Lakers play that night. And then the next night, we only didn't complete the marathon because we didn't get the bowl of poppies. Didn't get the bowl of poppies. It got big on us, the bowl of poppies. Bring your shirt. But then the next day, we go to the Intuit Dome. We go see the Clippers. It is A1. There is nothing better than going over and watching elite sport, but not only watching elite sport, having A1 tickets. If you somehow can just fork out a little bit of extra money and get the best seats in the house, I guarantee your experience is going to be 10 times better. We were over there. We had a quick hit trip, Jev. It was one of the all-time trips. One of the all-time trips.
It was so much fun for 6 days. I've got an up, Das, and that is SoFi Stadium. The new stadium, the Rams and the Chargers play out of LA. It is 10 out of 10 out of 10. You know, they hang like flags in the rafters or they hang jerseys in the rafters. That is ground level of SoFi Stadium. When you get to that part, you go down 4 escalators to get to your seats on like the ground. It is just an awesome stadium. It's built into the ground. They must have been digging for years to get it that low. It is just state of the art. Awesome. The food there, the beers, just everything about it. I couldn't recommend it going there more.
I could have a million ups, but I'm going to go with the down, Jev. And that's the Fiji Airlines food. We always say, if you're near the ocean, order the seafood. How about on top of the ocean? So they come around and they're like, "You guys hungry?" We're like, "Yeah, we're starving. We got a 10-hour plane trip. We've got to stop over Fiji. Of course we want to eat." They bring out the prawn pasta with tofu and a bit of cod. How long do you reckon that prawn was dead for? We can get this photo on the socials. A bit of withered spinach that must have gone through 10 other meals. I've never had more crook guts than the seafood prawn fish pasta on the Fiji Airways. We didn't eat another meal on that plane. I was in Demetrius' guts watch. It was a bad meal, Jev. Bad meal, Fiji Airlines. That's my down.
Oh, fuck. That's fucking funny. I've got an up, Das, and that's fixture release. That's
nice.
Just all the fixtures coming out. The teams do a good job. We're going to talk more about, I'm going to get deep into the fixture release. We're going to talk more about it next week. But just, just having it out is good stuff. Up or down, Das?
I've got another up. I'm not sure if anyone else knows this, but the best wagering partner of all time is PointsBet. And we love PointsBet, Jev. And I'm not sure if the US Feds are going to get onto us about this, but when you go over to the States, Jev, the PointsBet app is Mickey Mouse. A lot of states, I don't think you're allowed to gamble with.
Well.
We went over there and we're like, "Oh, we'll check the account." We're like, "Oh, it's working." You can gamble on the PointsBet app. PointsBet is the number one app for a reason, Jev. It made our trip even better. I know you can gamble in Vegas and it's hard. There's a lot of loopholes. I'm telling you what, you go over there, PointsBet came through clutch. So made the trip even better.
Gambling's banned in the state of California. It worked better than it does in Australia over there with it. We could not believe it. Another up to us. The Ashes start next week.
Nice.
The Ashes are fucking awesome. And we've got 5 tests, 5 days each, the whole of summer that are on all day. It is just, I cannot wait. There's nothing better than if it's a day night, you get home from work and you still get a good 5 hours of cricket, or it's a Saturday or a hungover Sunday and you're just watching cricket all day. I just love it. I cannot wait for the Ashes. It makes you appreciate, now that it only comes to Australia once every 4 years, it makes you appreciate how big it is. It's just huge. The Ashes is awesome. I cannot wait, Das.
Yeah, I feel this is the first real time. I think the Sandpaper Gate rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way, but I feel that's so past. It's a brand new team. Everyone's out of that side. So, yeah, I agree. I cannot wait for it. And sponsorships get you, Jev. Every time it's the summer of cricket, you either want a VB, a Zinger box, or a solo. They get you. So whatever the sponsors are going to be for this, they're going to have me in absolute stitches. Do you have any more?
The OLED TV Davey Warner had.
What was that?
I've got the OLED TV Davey Warner was flogging off. Remember, he had the list. He's like, I love my OLED TV. That ad, I bought an OLED TV. I got 2 downs.
Go.
The gather round fixture, Das. It's not necessarily a down. I just think it could be better, and I'm going to fix it on next week's pod.
Okay.
We're going to do gather round fixture next week. I reckon it can be better. And then my other down is LA. It's too big and it's too expensive, Das.
Yeah,
I loved our trip. It is fucking just, unless you're fucking living in the Hollywood Hills, Beverly Hills, or up in the hills where Justin Bieber and Kim Kardashian live and shit, everything's 40 minutes away. Everything's $100 Uber. It's impossible. The roads are just fucked. It is so hard and so expensive to get around. And you think of Melbourne, how we've got the MCG, Marvels within 5K, you got John Cain Arena, you got them all. When you go to the city or you go to Richmond, you're always 20 minutes away from everywhere. Think of LA SoFi, say SoFi's the MCG, Crypto Arena where the Lakers play would be in Moorabbin, 40 minutes away, and then the Intuit Dome's in St Kilda. They're nowhere near each other. You just got to get 40-minute Ubers everywhere you go, and they all cost 50 American, which is 100 Oz. It is just tough going in LA. So yeah, it's cool. It's just a little overrated in the fact how big it is. It is so fucking big.
One more up, which is a down as well. The American food, it's awesome. It tastes good, but it gets you worse than Barley Belly. I felt crook after every meal. Ray's Diner, Mel's Diner, the black coffee, the Joe. It just pumpkin ass. I'm just spraying bowls. It was an awesome trip, though. Jev, let's get into some footy chat. Let's kick it off. That plane ride, oh, my God. If I wasn't on the aisle, dot jocks. All right, finals, Jev. Wildcard round, first thoughts. What do you reckon?
I've actually come right around to it, and I like it, Das.
Mad.
I've got a fair bit here. So do you want to go as well? Do you like it? Are you in or...
You go.
So
you go first.
One day in the next 10 years, the league's going to be 20 teams. And I reckon 8 teams making it and 12 teams missing it just isn't great. So there'll be way too many dead rubbers at the end of the year. So I like the fact that half the teams are going to be making the finals and half are going to be missing. I reckon it removes, dead rubbers. And he's going to find out coaches and be way tougher on coaches. I'm already skeptical on Clarko going into next year. The board of North Melbourne will probably sit down with Clarko and say, we expect you to be playing wildcard weekend. There isn't a chance in hell Michael Voss keeps his job if they don't finish wildcard weekend at a minimum, Das the Blues. Yep. Josh Carr in his first year with all those A-graders, he'll be expected to make wildcard weekend. They'll say, we expect you to be finishing 10th and playing that weekend. Dean Cox, Luke Beveridge won't be coaches in 2027 if they don't make wildcard weekend. St Kilda, I feel like this suits them the most. This suits the Saints the most bringing in wildcard weekend because they're notoriously sort of slow starters or it feels like they're done by rounds 14, 15. Then they always win 6 of their last 7, but it's too late. They can't make the 8. This is absolutely perfect for St Kilda, who are bringing in, 10 new players or whatever they've done. They've got all these new superstars. If they do start a bit slow and, it's not all clicking, they've got all year just to finish 10th. So when it's that first final and it's Nas and it's TDK and it's all these guys they've brought in, it is perfect for the Saints. And then my last one, Brad Scott and the Bombers. So they kept Merritt when he requested a trade. They kept Ridley when he requested a trade. Nate Caddy in year 3. Sam Durham, who everyone loves. Bombers think he's an A-grader. If I'm a Bomber supporter, I expect them to be their wild card weekend. There should be no excuse that they aren't their wild card weekend. And it's gonna sort a lot of teams out. If they aren't there, Brad Scott will be getting fired, I'd say. So I just like the fact that there's those teams that didn't quite make the 8. It's fucking hard to make the 8. There's some good teams in the comp, but now it's no, just play that weekend. Even if you lose that weekend, you just have to be playing a final that weekend. Finals experience as good as anything. So yeah, what's your opinion on it, Das?
I love it. One, it's another 2 games we get to gamble on. If your team is in there, I'm going. And if we win, I'm going to treat it like a fight. You're there, you're fucking out. And then you come in almost like the Suns did this year. Then it feels like we got on a free swing. Probably not going to win the flag, but let's take a scalp. If you win 2 finals from a wild card and make it to a prelim and lose or a qualifying final, that's awesome. Everyone's going to be riding that side. So everyone that's hating it now, I guarantee if your teams are in there, you're going to love it. It does give more of a comp out. A comp for the top 6 sides, which I do like. Play better. You're in that position. You almost get a little bit of a bye. I found some stats here, Jev. So judging from 1994, when we had the top 8 system, if you finish first, 37% of the time, if you finish first, you win the flag. If you finish second, 25% of the time, you go on to win it. Third wins about 28% of the time. No one has actually won from 4th. In the 8-team system. When there was a top 4 side, Hawks won. Only 2 teams have won from 5th. No one's won from 6th. The Bulldogs won from 7th. And no one won from 8th. So it seems harder, the fact that 6th, 8th, 9th, and 10th are now coming in. It seems like it's definitely a top 4, top 6 heavy side, which for us, when we do our futures, whoever the top 4, 5, 6 are, if we just put futures into them, Jev, we're making money either way. So I'm looking at this from a gambling point of view. And it's going to be fun. But wildcard weekend, when we've got nothing on, this is what you're going to be sitting there. You're going to be glued. You're going to be glued. And if there's 2 Melbourne games, you're going to be going 100%.
Yeah,
so
I've just heard a bit of SEN this week, and there's just there's little just murmurs and stuff. I sort of heard Hutchie talking about it. They might sell wildcard weekend to states. It's Western Australia can bid for wildcard weekend, and both games are there Friday, Saturday. Tassie can bid for it. Adelaide can bid for it. Brisbane can bid for it. I just find that fascinating. So imagine you do finish 7th. Collingwood finished 7th. They would sell out 100,000 at the SCG, but they've got to go to West Coast who own the rights to Wild Weekend and play Freo or something. I find that so fascinating, so entertaining. And yes, it probably hinders your chance of winning a flag, but it would be must watch. And there's one thing, Das, and it makes me laugh so much. And it's the most bombery Essendon Bombers thing of all time. And it's just going to happen. You just know it's going to happen. One year, the Bombers are going to get it right, play out of their skin, and finish 7th. They're going to be we've made the top 8. We've nearly finished 6th. We've finished 7th. And someone like Collingwood or fucking GWS will come into town and beat them from 10th. And they will just feel sick. I can see it from a mile away, Das. The Bombers will get it right, finish 7th, and get knocked out by the team that finished 10th. The Saints or something, or Port Adelaide, and they will crack the shits.
Yeah, it'll be heartbreak. They've done enough to make finals, and they just get absolutely choked out just on the canvas at home. Let's have a talk about opening round. Obviously, last year we only had the 4 games. This year they've spruced it out to the 5. Are you a fan? I love expanding the game. I'll quickly chat first. Have an open book. Have everyone play. Why don't we have a couple of games in Perth? Why don't we have a couple of games in Adelaide? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Why don't we just play the rest of the slate? Do you agree?
Yep.
So
I do.
I still like these matchups that they've started with. But, Jev, you know what they've done? You know what the AFL have done? We've been preaching about this for years, about trying to get this game off the ground. And it officially means something. The 100K Cup is opening the AFL on opening round. Swans Carlton, no one's really cared. It's just been us, like me and Morgs on one side, you on the other. And no one's really give a fuck. But now there's a genuine rivalry there. And I'm so excited to say that we will be there on opening round at the SCG. Hopefully in the SEN box again, because that was awesome with Hutchie. Man, I look a little bit more like Hutchie now. Yeah, 100K Cup opening the round. I actually really like the fixture. I like it. Apart from this round I don't like the fact that Carlton have so many games, but Swans Carlton I love. Giants Hawks, they play that awesome final, Jev. They match up really well together. Gold Coast Geelong, I love, especially because it's up there on the Gold Coast. Gold Coast seem to smash Geelong. If all the Geelong players don't get heat strokes, they might have to go up there 3 or 4 weeks early. You got Brisbane Western Bulldogs, which is always a good one. And St Kilda Collingwood, that I do love that's in Melbourne. Again, I want a full book. I want more games. But the fact you've got the F1s that day, which we'll probably go to for the sake of it, rolling that into Sunday Arvo. Apparently they're trying to get Ed Sheeran there. I think that they've nailed the booking for this round. I really do. I really like all these matchups. Do you have anything on it?
No, I absolutely love the fixture, as you said. Yeah, I just reckon, as you said, play 9 games interstate. Don't play 1 in Melbourne, or maybe just the St Kilda Collingwood. Then the next week, have a Melbourne Thursday, Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 at MCG, 1 at Marvel. Same again on Sunday. Let the Melbourne teams go away, then bring them all home for their home opener for their fans. St Kilda Collingwood, that is the biggest game St Kilda have played since, I don't know, even bigger than their final against GWS a couple of years ago. This new team that they're all bought in on, they've signed Nass. They think he's the best player in the comp. If they'll have 90,000 Saints supporters that are so optimistic, rock up to that game, and if it goes well, it'll be the Saints like, this is the year. I'm so excited from them. There's a day off the next day. I don't know if they still go to platform 28 when they win at the G, or they just go to the corner. I don't know. But I don't think I've ever been more excited for a game ever than Swans Carlton opening round. Yeah. And you want to know why, Das? Oh, it's so exciting. Every single AFL supporter, apart from Carlton supporters, know Charlie Curnow used to get the softest free kicks in the league for the last 5 years. Nobody got softer free kicks that weren't there than Charlie Curnow. And everyone knew it, but Carlton supporters, they thought it was there. So, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for him to get an absolute soft one right in front of goal, 10 metres out directly in front. On Wiedering, he does nothing wrong. They give him a free kick, and see how the Blue supporters act to it. They're classy, level-headed individuals, the Blue supporters. I'm assuming they won't mind or overreact at all, because I am so excited to see how it is. And I don't know if he'll be umpired the same at the Swans as he was at Carlton, but I just know he's going to get a soft one. And I can't wait to see how the Blues react when the rest of Australia knew he got the softest free kicks.
You know what? I can already see it now, because he hates the SCG, so I'm surprised he actually wanted to go there. The first clearance will come down. He'll get a cheap one, kick one early, and then will not touch it for the rest of the game. Weeders will just have him on bath watch. We'll just have him. He'll kick the first.
Wiedering.
You go.
Yeah, we're going to bury him first. Curnow versus Wiedering is popcorn Das, because we know, I'm not going to say we know for a fact, but we have a bloody good source that those two don't love each other. So that's going to be a battle for the ages, Curnow versus Wiedering, because it got a bit salty towards the end with those two. So yeah, it's going to be so good opening. We're going to be there. We're going to have the whole off-season savings on Charlie to kick the first for sure.
We're going to, now that the odds are out, we're going to do this and we'll put on gambling, Jev. We won't do it now. We're each going to go through and pick our 5 head-to-heads from that, and we'll put a multi on the PointsBet website. But obviously the teams are back pre-season. Charlie Curnow's knees. Have you seen something get blown up more on Twitter? Carlton fans always say it's right, and then they see it once. It looks like a baked potato. They want to get into it. So we've spoken about him enough. But every year we're going to talk about Harley Reid, fat or fit. What is he? I saw 2 photos of him, and it's like an edited photo, and the other one, it looked like he had a gut. Is he fat or fit?
He looks fit. He looks good. Don't you reckon?
I don't know. His arms look all right.
And
His arms look all right.
your next question?
Horn Francis, in for surgery again with his foot. This isn't good. Is not good for the Hornet.
So, you and me, we overreact. It's what we do. It's what this podcast's been on. We have to overreact. Harley Reid looks like he's learnt from his mistakes last off-season, and he's rocked up in way better condition, way better shape. He doesn't need to be cut from diamond right now, but he looks like he's in better nick to be fit the whole of pre-season to then be ready round one. Like, you don't have to be in your absolute best day one of pre-season, but last year he came back absolute garbage guts. Then he got injured because he was too heavy. Then he was just getting ready to just scrape in the line round one. And then Jason Horne-Francis and Port Adelaide chose not to have surgery on his foot after last season when they knew he needed it. They sent him away for 8 to 10 weeks for his holiday away from the club. And then his first session back, something in his foot popped. He needs surgery and he's off his feet for 12 weeks. And he won't be running properly until February does. Like, that is already the biggest mistake of the season that he's cooked. The weapon, what do they call the weapon? Andrew Russell was on SEN yesterday and he goes, that is so bad. Like, that he won't be running to February. So my question without notice to you, as we are overreacting, right now, for the next 5 years, who would you rather? Jason Horne-Francis or Harley Reid?
That is a great question. I'm going to take... the Blues. I'm going to go with Harley. I reckon he's going to turn around. I reckon he's going to get it right. I'll go Harley.
Yeah, legit, just off that, knowing Jason Horne-Francis is getting foot surgery and not running until Feb, and then Harley Reid just came back looking like that, and he's just going to have a big preseason. Yeah, I'm going Harley as well. It's that simple. It's just those little things that make me go. And Jason Horne-Francis pretty much proved he's a far superior player at the moment than Harley Reid when they went head-to-head last year. But yeah, I'm going Harley as well. I reckon, yeah.
Now,
just off that alone.
The AFL, they keep throwing out these rule changes, Jev, and they keep doing different things. So, out of bounds, like the ruckman's pretty much dead now, yeah? Out of bounds, last touch, it's pretty much just deliberate, give over. I've thought of some other rules that if we're going to be stupid, we may as well bring these in. Let's make it a bit of fun, yeah? AFL's entertainment. Instead of a coin toss, how about before the game, you both elect your biggest kicker and you have a torp off to see who goes what way? Would you be in for that?
What about you flip a cricket bat and go roofs or flats?
All that.
Coin toss.
But would you be in for the torp off pre-game?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Done. So we're in for
I'll
that.
be in.
Would you be in for? I'm not for the Vicks versus the Western Australia. It's shit. It's Mickey Mouse. I believe it's Mickey Mouse. Bring back the Wizard Cup. I love that the Blues, that's where we cut our teeth. But the winner of the Wizard Cup, if you win, you get 4 points coming into the 2026 season.
Okay, start the year with 4 points.
There's cash
that's
prize.
crazy.
Cash prize for players for wanting to play, and you get 4 points. Would you be in for that?
Yeah, that's cool. That's not a bad idea.
I've got one more. In the Wizard Cup, Jev, you know if they kicked a goal from outside 50, it was a 9-pointer? It was a 9-pointer, yeah? Big goal. If every team got 1 quarter for the entire season where they got to pull the trigger. Imagine you're at Launceston and there's an 8-goal breeze and you're there at 3/4 time and the Hawks just pull the siren and it goes around the whole stadium. The Hawks have unlocked their 9-pointers and they're just dobbing them. Like, you might be down by 10 goals and you got to try and win it, or you need a percentage boost. Or you've got the win and you're like, fuck it, let's unlock it. Can you imagine that at the G? You're there at halftime and the siren goes and Collingwood have just unlocked theirs for the year and everyone's just trying to kick ones from outside 50. Would you be in for that?
Well, I don't know about that one, but it's funny you say that. Andrew Dimitri was on SEN today with Corns and stuff. He says if they're going to be changing rules, he just wants permanent outside 50 goals to be 9-pointers. He just thinks it should be a permanent. He just thinks it should be a permanent rule. He's the one that brought it into the Wizards Cup, and he just likes the idea of it. He likes the idea of he's like the NBA has it. It's the 3. You can go for 2 in the NFL. He likes the idea of if you're behind, you just start taking pot shots from 50 to try and kick 9-pointers. All of a sudden, games might get down to the wire because in the fourth quarter, you go into the thing down by 50 points, and then Richmond have kicked 4 9-pointers to start the quarter. Taranto's got 2 centre bounce clearances and just dobbed them from 50.
Imagine you saved yours.
I would
last
love to see
round of the year. You've saved yours for last round of the year. You're down by 4 goals, and you just unlock it, and it goes around the stadium, and you know that 9-pointers are now on offer. You would be going fucking nuts. It would be awesome.
It would bring in a totally different style of play. Like Trent McKenzie would still be on a list if he could kick 12 9-pointers a year, sort of thing, with his cannon. No, it's not the worst idea, but yeah, we can only make so many changes a week, can't we? They're doing some changing.
That was a genuine ramble there, Jev. All right, coming up next, Jev, we've got the best in the business. They call him arthritis because he's in every joint. He's absolutely everywhere. Our man, friend of the program. We've been trying to get him on for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, tonners that are listening, our man, Mitch Cleary.
Thanks for having me on board, boys.
Mate, we've been wanting to get you on for a long time now. We know you're a busy man, but it seems like everyone else is on holidays and you're the only man still working. Do you ever have a break?
Tell me about it. I was trying to find a footy story all day every day this week, but I am taking 6 weeks off into November, so I'll be able to put the feet up, watch the Ashes in peace. Looking forward to that, and then got a baby on the way. My partner's, she's 23 weeks now, so I've got to prepare for that. But the Ashes will probably take a bit of priority for the month of December at least.
Congratulations, mate. Getting busy. Now, it was good to bump into you at the races the other day. As you know, we enjoy punt, responsibly, of course, but we want to know, did you have a winner? And were you on Giga Kick? The rest of Australia was on it. Flemington was going nuts. Did you get a winner?
I was on Giga Kick. Love that. I think I got it early, and then was there a scratching, and we got deducted a bit. But the roar in that members room that we were in on Saturday was unreal. It felt like we were out on the track. So many people just refusing to go out in the rain. I can understand why. Had a couple of winners in Sydney as well, which was a nice afternoon. But yeah, still a bit of racing to go, even though the big days are essentially done. Got the All Stakes this week. Might have a look at that.
100%.
You're absolutely everywhere, Mitch. But before we get into some footy talk to us about the biggest trade this offseason. How is this new midfield going to work? Mitch, Xander, Tom Morris, Kane Corns, Daisy Thomas. Channel 7 is stacked. That is a stacked midfield. How is it all going to work?
Well, Hawthorn was looking for some more A-graders, and I think we've gone to the well and got a couple of our own. So it's going to be good to see who gets the centre bounce time. There might be a few pushed out to the wing and the half-forward flank. We'd be keen to see what the coaches do to try and get everyone a bit of midfield time. Is that what they call it in the AFL? Let's see how it pans out on the screens of 7. But no, it's good to have Tommy on board. Looking forward to teaming up with him. Never actually worked with him, seeing a lot of each other out and about, and been competing for stories for a number of years now. But be good to call him a teammate.
Whenever I go out anywhere on Chapel Street, I run into Tom Morris as well. So yeah, if you had to project the Channel 7 Christmas party, who would you give the votes to right now? If you're giving the 3-2-1 in about 6 weeks' time, who's getting the votes?
Well, the best thing for me, I'm in Queensland on holiday when that happens. I love missing a Christmas party because it means you don't say the wrong thing to the wrong person after a couple of quiet ones. I reckon Xander, I've seen the glint in Xander's eye this off-season. I reckon he's ready to go big for December now that the spring racing carnival's just cooled down.
I love that. He's had a big year, the boy. Now, let's talk some footy. First of all, in your opinion, opening round, yes or no?
Yes, but not the way they've done it. It's either got to be 4 games and do it properly around the northern markets, or do all 9. I don't love this half in, half out. And the AFL saying today, well, they can't do it because the grounds aren't ready. Well, you could play them in Victoria and find a way. I think the SA market, I would have loved to have seen personally. The one thing I reckon they missed is the Crows playing against the Suns for that Thilthorpe-Mac Andrew matchup. I would have loved to see one of the SA teams get a run in opening round this year. In saying that, the Saints and Pies will be huge. 200,000 plus people at the F1 and that game on Labor Day Eve. But I'm a no in the current format.
Yeah, well, that pretty much, I had the follow-up on that. I was just going to say, they've obviously given us some good matchups, but would you just rather see the AFL book everyone? Because I can't remember what that stat was earlier, but how many buys are we going to get this season? It's like the most of all time. And it just annoys fans. Like, it pisses us off. Like, we just want a full slate every week. Do you reckon they'll ever go back to that?
Potentially, and there's been even calls where they go back to the old split rounds. You know, Jevy, Yossa, Swans in the Pies. Remember they used to play that, and they'd just have that one game, and then everyone else would have the week off in that.
Yeah, I do remember that.
In that split round. That would have been probably 10 plus years ago. I know you guys are big NFL fans, and the NFL often have 4 to 6 teams on a bye at any one stage, but there's 16 games usually every weekend, so you can get away with it. When there's 7 or 8, people start to complain a bit. I don't really have a major issue with it. I think there's 9 rounds out of the 24 next year that will have buys in them. As long as there's good Thursday and Friday night games, I don't really have a major issue with it personally, because I think there's too much overlapping that goes on the Saturday and Sundays. And if there's buys, then we remove them. Not the end of the world for me.
Yeah, love it. So, yeah, we're big American sports fans, as you said, and we like the idea of wildcard weekend. Are you a fan? What's the feedback been like? Did you know it was coming?
I had a good sense it was coming, but just been waiting for that final tick-off. Once the commission and then pass it on to the clubs, I think everyone at AFL level was happy with it. I like it because it means 11th, 12th and 13th will be alive for longer. The only thing I can't stand is the fact that it counts as a final and will be a finals win if you win that wild card game. I reckon they should have had the 4 teams that weekend trying to fight to get into the top 8, and from there it's finals. I don't like the way they've done it in terms of calling that a final. I wouldn't be shocked if they change that in years to come. But wild card, I'm all for. Please don't call it a final.
Yeah, did you jump off my tweet on that one? Soon as you posted, I tweeted, does this mean Essendon, is this going to end Essendon's streak if they win a wild card? And then you asked Andrew Dillon the next day, he said yes. I couldn't believe it either, Mitch.
Maybe I've been stealing your content, and maybe you necessarily text me every time I'm going on Andrew Dillon presser to see what the question of the day is. And that was the one thing that probably got the most traction.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it as well. I thought surely this just means nothing. Because isn't there rumours like they might sell wildcard weekend to Tassie or something, and both games get played there or something?
Oh,
and it's a totally different weekend.
Potentially, I wouldn't be shocked if we see in years to come whether it goes to a streamer or, the current broadcast deal is where it is. But you talk about the NFL and being big American sports fans. We've got an issue because the NFL game is going to be played in semi-final weekends the way it is. And if there's 2 Victorian teams playing MCG games in semi-final weekends, we're either going to have to send one to Marvel or play one on the Sunday of semi-final weekends. So there could be a headache if, let's say, it's the Collingwood, and the Hawks both play and host semis. It could be an issue with the NFL. I think the 100,000 for the NFL might take priority, though.
That's actually crazy that you say that. Imagine the Pies get robbed of a semi-final because the NFL's ruined the ground. Das?
That it's an absolute kick the can down the road by the AFL. Now, going off that finals win, I'm sure Bombers fans will cling on to if they win. Who do you actually go for, Mitch? We have no idea.
Is that legit? Because you check my Twitter notifications and half of Australia seems to remind me that I am a Cats fan and they think that I favour the Cats. I did grow up in Geelong. If anything, I reckon you go harder at the team or you look at them a little bit more forensically than you would other teams. So I'm a Cats fan, but I like to think that I don't give them any favours, even though the listeners might think otherwise.
I was thinking before, I actually had no idea, but going on to the footy calendar year, it gets longer and longer. As a reporter and what you do in the industry, what is your favourite time of the year? My
favourite time of the year, in all honesty, is first day of the first test of the Australian cricket summer, because it means the draft is usually over and the trade period's done and the finals are along in the rearview mirror, and it means there's still 3 months until round 1 normally. So that might sound a bit selfish, but in terms of footy, there's not much going on at that point, and means we can all watch a bit of cricket.
Just going on that. So, obviously you work in footy, so it's your job. So, you do look forward to the off season, whereas we love watching footy because we work full time. Does it exhaust you, the footy, and then your work nearly doubles when it gets into the off season and the bloody trade period and everything? Does it just feel like work to you and you just can't wait to be off and watching cricket sort of thing?
I do love it. I'll be honest. I do love a good game of footy. When there's 90,000 at the G and there's a close game of footy, there is nowhere in the world you'd rather be. I just mean in terms of that day-to-day grind and, working from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep. I could be doing far worse jobs. So not complaining about that, but in terms of, putting your feet up over summer, that's probably the best time of the year for me.
So to talk about the day-to-day grind, running to Clary at the airport, and he wasn't that happy to see you. Is that the worst interaction you've ever had with a player, or what's the worst interaction? Are there any that just don't speak to you or don't like you when you're out, or are they all pretty good blokes?
I haven't had too many major issues. I know Bailey Humphrey is a big friend of the show. On that same day as I spoke to Clary, I actually got Bailey Humphrey for a chat and Sam Flanders about an hour earlier. They'd just come from the Gold Coast BNF, and both are more than happy to chat. That Clary one was hilarious because he walked in to the wrong area of the airport. He was meant to be on the top deck, and I was down waiting for Jamara to fly in. Clary saw me and goes, oh, no, here we go. I walked over to him and said, mate, I'm going to have to ask you a couple of questions. He said, mate, I'll tell you to get stuffed on camera if you do. So I said to the cameraman, all right, let's do it, thinking he was going to take the mickey. I asked him on camera, and he did exactly what he said he was going to do. So he's true to his word, Clary. I reckon he'll love Sydney, though, just getting out of the spotlight. In terms of other interactions with players, nothing really too bad. I had one like when I was, I reckon, 20 and just starting for Footy Classified. Buddy Franklin had been suspended, and Josh Gibson and Buddy were as thick as thieves at the Hawks. I was waiting to try and hit up Buddy outside Waverley Park, and Josh Gibson walked out and gave me the hip and shoulder when I was trying to get to Buddy. And then I was packing up with the cameraman. We were leaving. We pulled up at the first set of lights outside Waverley next to Gibson and Buddy in the car. Got a call the next day from the Hawks saying, what are you doing stalking these blokes? And I said, there is only one way in and out of Waverley Park, and we were just leaving. So that was a bit of a throwback. But all in all, players are pretty good to deal with and usually have a smile on their dial.
That's awesome. Now, we obviously know that you do the Tradies podcast. How hard is it to still fill content throughout the year and not give away your sources? I know Scoops is always like, I'm a Carlton supporter as well, but he reckons he's got 3 ears in that corridor, but he can never give away a source. Have you ever accidentally given away one? And have you ever accidentally ever burnt a bridge?
I've burnt a couple of bridges that probably are irretrievable. I'm not going to go into exactly who they are, but my biggest thing is if someone tells me something, I'm going to go out of my way where I can to make sure I don't reveal who's told me, because it means that if you do, they're never coming back. Off the top of my head, no one really jumps out that I've given up as a source. I might have a think and come back to you on that one. But, yeah, I've burned plenty of bridges. Usually I've got a policy. If someone's lied to me once, I'll cop it and just deal with it and move on. But if someone lies to me just point blank twice, I'm happy to rip up that relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm fascinated in, and my next question about just your sources. Like, do you have them absolutely everywhere? Like players in your DMs, managers, you call, I know, someone's parents, just absolutely. Do you get your sources from everywhere? And then, yeah, as you said, if someone lies to you and you go on the news or you tweet it and it's wrong, do you just feel like an idiot? Like, how does that all work?
That's the thing. And sometimes you go with a story which was right at the time, and then a couple of hours later it might be wrong, and you've just missed that 4 or 5 hour window where it's changed, and you look like an absolute deal. But when you were told that and when you felt like you had it confirmed, it was right at the time. You do have contacts everywhere, and you've just got to make sure that you've got a good relationship with someone, that if there is a story to be told, they're going to tell you before they tell others, because it's like, we're like seagulls fighting over a chip. There's only sort of 1 or 2 good stories a day, and you've got 15, 20 good journos chasing that chip for the day. In terms of being lied to, it's funny, the longer you get to know people, the more you can tell if they're lying or if they're leading you or they're trying to divert you. It's just, certain people, certain conversations, if you've been in that scenario with them before, you'll know if they're trying to lead you on. And what I'm big on, if someone said something to me and then the outcome was a different result one time, I'll put that in the back of my head that if that happens again, I'll know how to handle that same person the next time, if that makes sense. But for me, it's just about being in the game for as long as possible and making sure you're keeping those relationships strong, because you do lose a few over the journey.
Can I just quickly go, Dust? Just as you're talking about the seagulls fighting over the chip, so now that, like, Xander, Tom, yourself are all at Channel 7. Are you competing with each other, or is it Channel 7 gets the story? That's the main goal. Are you a team, or do you still compete with each other? And do you have the same sources? Like, do you ever not go with one and then Xander goes with it? You're like, oh, geez, I should have gone with it.
It's funny. Xander and I had a story this year involving the Saints where we were both chasing something similar, and then we both looked at each other and thought, oh, shit, we've both got the same thing here. So it's a bit of you do this and I'll do this. And then there was one this year, for example, Jai Simpkin at North was another one we were both chasing independently, and we sort of both discussed it in the office, and we'd been a fair way along the path. So we both wrote it with a joint byline for the online, and then, we dealt with how we'd do it on TV a little bit later. To answer your original question, I think the first priority is that 7 gets a story because that's our employer. But we've all got a bit of competitiveness in us that, if there is a story to be had, you want to be the one doing it because, you don't wake up in the morning to run second or not get the biggest footy story of the day. So, there's a little bit in that. But if 7 gets it, we all go home reasonably happy.
Yeah.
Such a crazy job whether to toe the line or whether to pull the trigger on something. We find it so fascinating. Just want to quickly chat about this trade period. Will probably go down as one of the best of all time. The fans absolutely love it. We love it as consumers of footy. How long until we see in-season trading? And would you like to see that as well, if we can get the financials sorted?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I just think it's a little while off because the interstate clubs or the clubs outside of Melbourne will be hamstrung because, you've got 10 teams in Victoria. Players will be happy to jump from club to club there, but to move your family or move your partner's life from Melbourne, let's say the Eagles have traded a player from Collingwood to the Eagles, it's hard to uproot, whereas clubs in Victoria might be able to say, hey, St Kilda, we'll go and get a player from Melbourne and it will be less disruption. So that's sort of what's holding it back at the moment for a lot of clubs. But I'd love it. And I know you guys are big American sports fans. It just gives that extra layer in season and the content will be off the charts. Even going back to my time working at AFL.com, the trade stories sometimes outrate the finals period because that's how much fans are hanging on every word written in the trade period.
I know when I was chatting to Toby Green a bit this year, he says they should maybe open one up in February because sometimes guys rock up to training thinking they're the number one winger, and then this 18-year-old kid that's been drafted takes their spots. All of a sudden, it's like 27-year-old probably on his last year of a deal. He needs to get traded then and there and could jump a team in, February and, as you said, join the Saints. Could you see that ever happening?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I think that'd be good. I think that the more movement, the better, and fans are crying out for it. We're talking about Origin footy. We're talking about wildcard footy, putting more on. I think the numbers and the data have shown that fans are craving more player movement. And if players are open to it, then I reckon let's do it. That more of that would be pretty cool. I just think clubs, part of me still is a traditionalist that, building your list in October, November and going for the marathon is pretty cool. But as a journo, I'm all for a bit more movement.
So I'm fascinated by your podcast partner, Scoops, and just the things.
You're not the only one.
I know you got to do a podcast. You're getting clicks. You got to get listens and stuff. When he says stuff like Isaac Heaney's not an A grader or Mason Cox a top 3 ruckman in the league, do you think he's taking the piss at the time, or are you as shocked as us when you hear it? Do you like his bold takes, or does he and that he's a take artist, or do you think he just needs to stay in his lane a bit? How do you react sometimes?
Well, the funniest thing for me is he's actually not on social media. So it's not as if he's doing it to grow his social media profile or build his Instagram followers, because he's not on any of those Twitter or Instagram platforms now. So if I'm being truly honest, at the start I thought, he's pulling my leg here. But he genuinely thinks that Mason Cox is a top 3 ruck, and he honestly thinks that Isaac Heaney is not an A grader. I don't know who's going to change his mind, but that's his view, and that's the way he's rolling with it.
The way in that clip when you're just like, does Isaac Heaney play badminton? And a couple of times this year, we were in the clubby office doing the live stream, and I saw the A grade list, and the amount of times I wanted to send you, you guys got to change this. You got to move some magnets here. It did my head in a couple of times.
We didn't have Naz. He didn't have Naz on at the start of this year, and he laughed me out of the room when I said he was going to be an A-grade potential, so I got a win over him there.
Yeah, that's a win.
Surely Heaney's put 2 pretty good years. Did he win the BNF at the Swans?
He did, yep.
Yeah, surely 2 years is enough.
Last year he said he's not consistent enough. He's made 3 of the last 4 All-Australians, Mitch. Come on,
Yeah.
surely that's enough to be an A-grader.
I think those grand final stinkers that he had, I think he was on one leg for one of them. I think that's far enough in the rearview mirror.
Hopefully.
Mate, if he's not an A grader, there's something wrong. But yeah, it was good to look at that list. We're like, shit, where else can we put someone on that? But let's have a quick look forward to some of the biggest names that have been thrown up potentially to be on the move at the end of 2026. Can you just give us, in your opinion, whether you think they're going to stay or go, and maybe some clubs that would be after them? So Zach Butters at the end of 2026, in your opinion?
Yeah, I might need to go to another golf course and ask him again. I think, speaking to other clubs, I think he's more likely to leave Port Adelaide. And if he gets to the start of round 1, 2, and 3 without signing, I think it's panic stations for the Power. The Dogs have been into him for so long, it's not funny. He grew up a Dogs fan. I reckon he's, people you speak to tell me that his ideal world would be to live in the West and be close to family and friends near Bacchus Marsh, Darley. The Doggies are that side of town. It makes a lot of sense. Other clubs will throw the kitchen sink at him though. But if I was to say right here, right now, I reckon Butters leaves.
What about Zach Bailey?
Oh, this is an interesting one because the Lions are super confident. The Power are confident they can keep Butters too, but the Lions are, I think, even more confident they can keep Zach Bailey. I reckon he's going to have to leave 300 or 400 grand on the table to stay at the Lions, though. With their cap crunch that's coming, they've just signed up Ashcroft. McCluggage on that mega deal.
Yep.
Rayner signed as a free agent this time last year. He's going to have to leave some serious money behind to stick around. I will give Sam McClure credit, though. How does Zach Bailey look in a lesser team? That would be an interesting one because he feels like a bit of a cream on the cake player at the Lions. He can run off the chain a bit. He can run forward. Not saying he's a downhill skier. I think he's a fantastic player. I'll be paying him 1.5 at another club. But how would he look if he had to, be the number one mid another team? I reckon that'd be a different.
I think he'd be unbelievable. Like, you saw what he did against Fremantle that game, and he just dominated. Is that still going, Morgs?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
You still there, Mitch?
I just got a phone call, so I don't know if it cut out.
No, just for a second. No, you're all good.
It's just on mine. It's starting to it's only at 17 seconds again. Hopefully we didn't lose that other one though. Yeah, cool.
Are we right to keep going, Morgs? Yeah, you saw when Lockie Neal was out of the side, he became the number one mid, and what he did grand final day, I think he 100% could be a number one. But next player, I've only got 3 more. We'll quickly skim through them. Lockie Neal, is there a chance he goes back west at all?
Oh, probably too far gone now. I did look into it this year. I thought there might be a sniff, but not right now.
2 more, Sam Walsh.
Geelong are going to throw the kitchen sink. If the Cats don't get Butters, I reckon they'll go hard at Walsh. But he's a pretty loyal guy.
And last one, Ben King.
Oh, dear. If the Suns are in contention in the first half of the year, I reckon he re-signs, maybe for 2 more. He might be one of those 26-year-olds that just signed for 2 and then backed himself in as a 28-year-old. But again, the money that's going to be in Victoria will be just next level for Ben King.
Yeah, love it. Jev?
Yeah, we just want to get your opinion on a couple of things. And it's funny you say that. We work in construction in the city, and the tunnels tell us that Zach Butters to Western Bulldogs is an absolute lock. In the CFMU, that is a done deal, apparently, Mitch. So it's funny you say the Dogs.
I'll write it up on my whiteboard. Done. I'll put it on the news tomorrow night.
12 months he's heard that for, Dar. So
I've got the screenshot.
I just want to know, how big is the Tassie stuff about to get, and the Nick Dacos to Tassie stuff? Is it true he's going to get offered it could be 20, 22 mil over 8 years or something crazy like that? Is that that's about to blow up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if it'll be Nick, but think about the Tassie list, right? They're going to have so many 18-year-olds, but they're going to have the same cap as everyone else. Yeah. So I reckon if Naz got 2 at the Saints, their best player could easily get 2.5, 3 a year, and then you throw in the 5 million sign-on bonus. They can do whatever they want with that. They can give it to one player. They can give it to 10. They can decide what they want to do. So, they could offer a Nick Dacos 3.5 mil a year on average. It's just a matter of whether Nick would ever want to entertain that. I don't think he'll be shy of he won't be short of 2 mil at Collingwood in the next few years, like when they restructure that deal, and then all the commercial benefits of living in Melbourne that come with being a Collingwood superstar. You've got to factor all that in terms of when you move clubs. I can't see it happening, but Gary Ablett did it, didn't he, to go to the Suns?
And then, I heard, I was listening to a pod today, Will Day's out of contract that year. I think Caleb Sarong's out of contract that year. Are these the players that are going to get thrown up, or who are you hearing?
Yeah, all those guys. Kyle Lohman's out of contract as well at the end of 27. I reckon a bit of showbiz for him. Go and get the guy that struts his stuff on the big stage. He'd look good down there. He's a country Victorian boy. I always think for a club like this, pulling the country Victorian or the country kids out that don't have a hardcore connection to the city might be the way to go. I've said this before on tradie, so I'm probably repeating myself, but if I'm Tassie, I'd go hard at Alex Taru, the Flying Viking. I reckon he's the full package. He'll be young. When Cal Ward went to the Giants, he was in that same age bracket. Go and offer him the world. And the same manager looks after Leckerli, who got burnt by the Saints. I reckon there could be a play there for Tassie to go after the Viking.
I love that. I love that. And I'm on record, and I stand by this take. And this could be a Scoops McClure take. You can tell me if it is. I'd trade 10 first-round picks for Sam Darcy to get him to Tassie. I would give up 10 first-round picks. In the first round, you want to get a player like Sam Darcy, or you can just have him. So, and it's like the Luca thing right now. Everyone's like, why? How much would the Mavs prefer Luca back than Cooper Flagg, AD, and these first-rounders? I would do anything to get Sam Darcy to Tassie.
Where else are you going to find a Sam Darcy? You could take 10 picks at the draft and not get anywhere near Sam Darcy. So
correct. It's
not as silly as it sounds on the surface. I'm probably more leaning your way.
I appreciate it.
So let's have a look, because you're obviously always reporting, but I'm not sure if you really get to give your opinion that much. So I want to know your biggest riser and slider of 2026. I've already got a take that I think the Saints are going to finish higher than the Cats. I think that's a lock in stone.
Ooh, okay.
But who is your biggest riser and slider for 2026?
I reckon the Swans will rise, and not just on Kerno. I reckon Goulden will be fit. I haven't really done the full assessment on the draw, but they'll get an easier draw because they missed finals. They're still a pretty good team. They made the granny 2 years ago, so I'm big on the Swans taking the next step. Who's going to rise? Where did Port finish this year? I reckon they could be, bottom 2 or 3.
Really?
They've lost a bit. The Hornets injured. Outside of their top 4 or 5, I reckon their depth falls away a bit. That might
bottom
be
2 or 3.
That's not too much of a hot take.
That is a massive take. They're only doubling up on one top 8 side from last year, which is Adelaide. So I love that from you, Mitch. You hate Port Adelaide.
Nah, first year coach. A bit of a reset year. Look, they could come out and make finals, but I just reckon their list is in a period of turnover. And apart from their top 5 or 6 players, I reckon their depth is a little less compared to a lot of the other teams.
I'd love to get, so you're way too early Brownlow medalist. Who's someone you're just fascinated by?
Oh, that is a good question. Let me think. I love Tom Green at the Giants. Don't know how he'll go with Clary though, so maybe I'm contradicting myself there on that one. How about I go Max Holmes as well? I reckon people will wake up that he's an A grader this year.
Do you go to Brownlow night?
Yeah, I have the last couple of years.
Is it true Tom Green gets full salty when he doesn't get votes? Do you see him getting shitty as?
I haven't seen that. What I did see at the Brownlow this year though was that Zach Butters spent a lot of time lurking around the Bulldogs table in the break. So there's something for your construction mates.
Mate, it's a lock. I'm telling you, I can show you the screenshot. I said it over 12 months ago. It's a lock.
You're way too early Coleman medalist.
Sam Darcy.
I've got to take. I'll lock it in now. I'm gonna do a bit more on it later and make a post out of it. but including finals and wildcard weekend and grand final day, he'll kick 100 goals next year, Mitch.
Shit, okay.
He'll kick 100. You think Jeremy Cameron did it easy this year, and he end up on 90. A fit Sam Darcy, if he plays 25 games, he'll kick 100 goals next year.
Well, Sam Darcy should get 10 shots at goal a game, really.
Easily. He pays like $1.60 to kick 3 in the middle of the year. All he's got to do is kick 4s and 3s all year and he'll get there.
Yep. Could be on. I'll run out in the middle of the ground with you guys.
Yeah, I'll see you out there. And then your premiership winner. Are you going Lions 3-peat? Can you see anyone else winning it?
I said last year the Lions, it'd be tough to go back-to-back because no Joe, and they made that look foolish with a forward line, Logan Morris and Ty Gallup, 2 young key forwards, and they won the flag. Yeah, have to go Brisbane again. I know that's going to look like a really conservative, easy answer, but you add Draper and Allen to that. What are they losing this year? Archie and Ainsworth are pretty handy players, but I reckon they can fill that void.
For sure. And then your biggest take heading into 2026?
Whoa, that is a good one. Sorry, I'm thinking on the run here. I've had my head buried in the fixture all day, trying to buy some time as I think through this.
I've got one for you that I've only just thought of today as well. Now with the new top 10 and 10 teams making finals, there'll be some teams like, I don't know, Clarko. He'll be expected to make that top 10. Or, if Bevo or Dean Cox don't make it, they'll probably get moved on. Michael Voss's job will probably rely on if he makes wildcard weekend or not. I reckon now that there's 10 making finals, some teams will just be like, if you don't make the 10, you will not have a job next year.
Yeah, and the way Carlton have added to their list after losing Kerno, they went and got Ainsworth, Hayward, and Florent. They're not ready to reset. If Carlton don't make the top 10, let alone the top 8, or second week of finals, I reckon Vossi's in some serious strife.
Yeah.
How about I give you an early Q Clash grand final? So Brisbane and the Suns to play off in the granny.
Well done, mate. That's good.
So good.
That's good. I fucking love that. That's a great take. Mate, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time. We'll definitely love to sit down next year, obviously after you've had the bub and you settle in, and we can chat about the Ashes and just a bit of a pre-season fill-up. Again, mate, thanks for joining us, and we really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, boys. Love the content.
You're the man, Mitch. Our new best friend, Mitch Cleary, everyone. Welcome to the Summer Rodeo. It's a full barn now. Joining us, fresh off the biggest LA trip of all time, Luke Morgan, the captain of the ship. How are you, Morgs?
Lads, thanks for having me. Unbelievable. The Summer Rodeo is a great name for it. Heard the Mitch Cleary chat. You're right. He's a lad, Jev. Can't wait to have him back on next year, early before the season, maybe. But yeah, awesome interview, lads. Well done.
He's such a good guy, Morg. So we just want to get your takes on a couple of things. Me and Das were talking about opening round. Did you like the fixture? Are you a fan of opening round? Did you hear Mitch's take on it? What are your thoughts on opening round?
Yeah, I sort of agree with what you guys said. I think just by the time footy comes around that time of the year, we're excited for footy, aren't we? Like Sydney Carlton, there's enough storyline there. I rate that they go storyline rather than big game. I like saving those big games for other rounds. Like they're the storylines, and we always talk about it in the NFL. Like that Carlton versus Kerno storyline, we just got to get that out of the way. So what better time to do it? Opening round. I don't think it'll be a great game. I think you'll pump us, Jev, as you always do at the SCG. But yeah, look, I don't think they've had a perfect offseason in the AFL, but I like the fact they've played into the storylines opening round.
Wildcard weekend?
Yeah, I like it. And I love what you said, Das. I was listening before. If your team's there, you're going to love it. And I think it's one of those ones. We'll get used to it. I love what you said, Jev, about the 20 teams. It's so true. You may as well have wildcard round before we have the 20 teams. I just think, and that's another one. It's another week of footy. It replaces a week off with 2. I guess they're not finals, but they're like finals. So, yeah, I can't complain with it at all. And the only thing I would probably say is, I guess now there's no bye. Like, what are your thoughts, question without notice, about having a bye before the grand final, or do you just play it after the prelim? I just think about the Tom Stewart thing.
War of attrition. Just keep it going now. The season's too long. Yeah. If there's some casualties along the way, like it is what it is. I just think it's a bit unlucky. You're just going to drag it into deep October. No, I just reckon it is what it is. Keep it how it is. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I actually didn't have an opinion, but I did like Darcy's.
I agree.
You got to build your list to play for all 6 months without having that week off. Like, have 30 players that are always ready to go. So, yeah. Did you like my take on how many coaches probably become on the hot seat now that there are a top 10? Like, straight away, Voss, Cox, Brad Scott, Luke Beveridge. Who else did I have? I had a few there. Like, their jobs are now... Josh Carr in his first year. Their jobs are now all on the line. St Kilda, Ross Lyon, Clarko. Their jobs are now all on the line with this top 10. They should be going into preseason saying, we need to be their wildcard weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. It just adds urgency. Everything that, people don't want to Americanize our sport, and I totally understand that. But all America have done is just add urgency. That's all they try and do. So more trading, more off-season events. Then you have the play-in that they have in the NBA. The wild card is a bit different in the NFL, but it just all adds urgency. And I agree, Jeff. You've got coaches now that are on the hot seat. You've got games later in the year that'll mean more because you've got a chance to be in the wild card. You haven't just given up. You're not thinking about footy trips. So I agree. Everything is just adding urgency. Like, the season's not going to get shorter. That's the only way you add urgency is if you have less games and each game means more. But that's never going to happen with the fixture and the money, and we know they're all about money with the wild card as it is. So I agree, Jev. I think it's going to add so many more markers, so many more ways to judge teams, and it makes it more interesting.
So just your two opinion on Carlton. So, I don't know exactly how good you think Carlton are, but I know you still think they're going to be better than the Bombers, Port Adelaide, probably St Kilda, like a lot of these teams next year. So would you two be absolutely filthy if Carlton miss wildcard weekend, which is finishing 10th out of 18 teams, Das?
100%. It would be an absolute fucking failure. The fact that you've gone in to go get 5 players that will start on the list, essentially. And then, yes, I know we had some injuries. You had everyone else in the building. If we don't make the 8, I'll be upset. Let alone the wildcard round. I expect him... Again, what more do you want? Vossi's had, how many years there? You've got all these young picks coming through. You've got all these players. You've got the team that you want. You've traded other people out. You went to a prelim a few years ago. Now go back and make the 8. Go win some fucking games. If we don't make the top 10, I would be filthy. Honestly. 100% filthy. You, Morgs?
Yeah, I agree. I just can't wait to say I've screamed and kicked and screamed for 10 years that I've hated our floor. You just can't win a flag with we always had those 5 players and everyone talked about our top 5. But you just can't win a flag like that. It doesn't even matter what style of footy you play. You get to the Gabba and you play against Brisbane and all of a sudden you've got 5 and they've got 12. Yeah. And it just always wins out. It doesn't matter what footy you play. Now all of a sudden we've traded that player to get those extra 5 and to bring our floor up. The only thing as a Carlton fan is that we've given away Charlie Curnow a recurring common medal chance. So that's the thing. I'm really interested to see how we go, but absolutely. The fact that we haven't reset, we've just said we're making a change. Yeah, if we don't finish in that top 10, it's a dismal season.
Super interesting about the Blues is last year you couldn't kick. So, first of all, it didn't look like you were fit enough at the start of the season, and then you couldn't kick. But when you don't have a full forward, because maybe it was just dump it off to Charlie, we'll be right. Now that you don't have full forward, usually teams like Collingwood and stuff who don't have that dominant full forward, everyone on the field can kick and they can all kick it and they just get shots at goal from anywhere. Do you guys want to see the Blues just go all in on just every single player on the field knowing how to kick the fucking ball? Everyone needs to be able to kick.
Everyone in and anyone can kick him. Everyone all in and anyone can kick him. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who kicks him. Put him on the board. I'll get some nice team play. Even when you look, Joe Danaher went away. He went away and you're like, who's going to kick the goals? Everyone kicks the goals. Everyone runs in. You feed off each other. Yeah, we've obviously got to work on our kicking. I'll let Morgs go, and then I've got a quick one here for you, Jev.
Yeah, I'll be quick. I just don't. Yeah. You have to be able to kick in today's game. I don't think that's a choice anymore about what sort of style do you play, like that crash and bash King always talks about. You just have to be able. You have to be elite kicks to win. Yeah. Footy's too quick these days. I don't think it's a choice these days.
So I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. I wasn't going to do it, but I am now. So I hope you guys haven't seen it. But are you guys keen to do a very quick, early guess the lines? You guys ready?
Yeah. Fucking oath.
You guys haven't seen it?
I have no idea.
I've seen it. I've got him here. Sydney Carlton. What's the line, Jeff?
Well, this is the only one I know the odds. So I know that I just saw before the Swans are $1.33. I think Carlton are $3.20. So I swear that turns to I think that's about 22.5 points. I'm going to go 21.5 points to Swans.
Lewis?
Yeah, give me 18.
That goes to Jev. Blues plus 22.5 is a goddamn lock. Goddamn lock, Jev. We will cover that 22.5. It will be dirty. It will be gritty at the SCG. It won't be high scoring. I absolutely love that in this contest.
You've gone nowhere near covering it. You've gone nowhere near covering it the last 2 times you've come to the SCG. It's been perfect conditions and it's been pouring rain, and we've just belted you both times. So I don't know where you think you're going to cover it.
We'll have a bet. Well, this is even money, so it's $1.90 each. Me and Morgs have a bet with you because that is 22.5. I'm eating them. Gold Coast, Geelong, Jev.
Man, it's a tough one. People think Gold Coast is going to be playing grand final day. Like, they're a real chance. So I'm going to say they're going to be favourites and handsomely. I'm going to go 9.5 points. Morgs?
Lewis?
Yeah, I was going to say 7.5, Das.
It is Gold Coast -6.5.
Yeah, there you go. Man, if they're as good as people are saying, I like the Suns to cover.
Yeah,
but it's hard to bet against Geelong.
You take them up there. They're gonna roll out the red carpet. It is gonna be. Then I'm just gonna tweet straight away. I'm right on Geelong. GWS and the Hawks.
This is awesome. I'm gonna go the Hawks as favourites. 3.5 point favourites.
Lewis?
I'll go Giants. Giants 1.5.
It is Hawthorn -1.5. So I think it flipped from that final. So it's pretty much pick 'em, $1.85 to GWS, $1.95. This is going to be a good match. Good match. What side would you lean?
Yes, GWS would be filthy. GWS would be so filthy. We were there opening round last year when they gave Collingwood the belt. They train hard in pre-season, GWS. They get their game plan right. I would be leaning GWS.
Yeah, me too.
Next one, Brisbane and the Western Bulldogs.
Awesome. Fucking awesome. God. Lions have to be favourite. 9.5 points.
I'm going to go -14. I'm going to give you a couple more.
Brisbane -20.5.
Wow.
20?
Yep.
Wow.
So the Bulldogs are,
Maybe
Bulldogs
they
are
just think...
320. You get even money at $1.90.
Wow. That's the same line as Carlton Swans. That's a better +20 point bet than fucking, what's it called? I suppose Harris Andrews, Sam Darcy, Bonta Star. I don't know. I like that 20.5 points more than I like Carlton's 20.5 points.
And then the last one.
What I love...
Yeah, sorry, go Morgs.
What I love about, it's easy for us to say because we're a betting show, but it's what I love about odds, like not necessarily betting on the game, but what the bookies think it is. It will tell us so much about the game once we see the result. So you've got a 20-point head start. So that's where they see those two teams right now. You get such a better idea where that line sits once the game finishes.
Yep. And this is what's so good about early preseason betting. So a team might do 5 ACLs, and then we got them +20. And we're like, how fucking smart are we? Like, we knew it. Obviously, we don't want people to get injured. And then last one. I'm excited to go to this game. I'm a big ticket holder for the Saints. Saints Collingwood, MCG, after the F1. So we've just watched Piastri win, and then we go to the G. We've had a skinful.
Morgs, you would have heard me before. Is this the Saints' biggest game since, I don't know, the 2010 grand final? Drawn grand final?
I was going to say the Michael Gardner game.
Since the Mickey... Well, they played it, since the Mickey... This is huge because the Saints supporters are all in. Like, they are so excited. With the top 10 now, the Saints are making the top 10 for sure. They win this game and the lid is just off. It is blown off out of proportion. I'm going to say Collingwood are still favourites though, Das. And if they're not, they're going to be favourites. I'm going to say Collingwood are about 6.5 point favourites at the MCG, even though it's St Kilda home ground. Morgs?
Yeah, I'll go 3.5. I'll give the Saints a little bit love. And just please, Saints, please go to this game. Please go to this game.
90,000 Sainers.
Collingwood -7.5. Absolutely hammer the Saints +7.5. They played each other round 1 or round 2.
So much money.
2 years ago. They played round 1, round 2. Henry was playing, King was playing, and they ran the Pies off their feet. They absolutely destroyed them. The Pies are big sliders this year. They're big sliders. I reckon they're going to get found out. This is the new Saints. This is the Ross Lion Saints. I can't wait for it. +7.5. That's a gimme, isn't it? That's a gimme.
I want to spend the whole weekend making money so we can hammer the Saints +7.5. Going to just absolutely hammer them.
So smart.
So sharp.
Speaking about hammering money, Jev, you've always got your head looking forward. Like, always looking forward.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. Like, we're smart. We try and make some investments. But I believe you've got something for us.
I've got a brand new segment that's going to be on the pod every week that I'm going to get you two involved, but I only thought of it today, started today. We're going to get followers involved in this, and it's just using the power at PointsBet we've got and the pool at PointsBet, the greatest betting company on earth, works better in LA than it does in Melbourne. This segment's called Futurama, boys. You guys know the show Futurama. It's called Futurama. And every week, so when this pod comes out Friday, from Friday to Friday, we're going to put on a futures bet that you cannot get anywhere else on earth. And it's in the right now, the one's in the 100K hub under American football on the PointsBet app. And it's a futures bet. So from this week forward, each pod, we're all going to come with our own futures bet. So I'll come with one. I might have Dodgers to win the World Series. Dash, you might have Carlton to make the 8. Morgs, you might have Kai Ying Rising to win the Everest or something. Sam Darcy to win the Coleman. And we're going to get the followers involved as well. We're going to find where if they like it, they can, the Discord can decide on a futures leg or something. We're going to get it, and it's going to go up for 1 week. You get 1 week to get on. So I've done the first one this week, boys. And we're getting 11-1, and I can't believe we're getting 11-1.
I need to write this
First
down.
leg. Well, we're going to be betting on it. Just go to the PointsBet app and put some money in there and bet on it. First leg, Australia to win the Ashes.
Great bet.
We like it?
Great bet.
Tick. We just got 5 tests to be better at home. Second, Matt Stafford to win the MVP.
Great
Wow.
bet.
Darcy's pick.
The 4-1, no one's playing better at quarterback than him right now. Threats, Jonathan Taylor is playing as well, but running backs aren't a threat. Sam Darnold could come into the race this week if he beats him head-to-head. He's probably not Stafford's level. Drake May could be the 1 seed, playing very well. I just think Stafford's better. And if the voting was done today, Stafford is the MVP. He's paying $4. You can't multi him into anything on any app. But on this app, so we've got Aussie to win the Ashes, Stafford to win the MVP, and then this is the absolute kicker, lads. I couldn't believe we got this over the line. Luca or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to win MVP. One of the two. Not even just Luca, not even just Shai. Luca or SGA to win NBA MVP. So 11-1. It's on the PointsBet app for 1 week only. Aussie to win the Ashes, Matt Stafford to win the NFL MVP, and Luca or Shai to win the NBA MVP. $11, lad. That is that's first week Futurama.
It's a great futures bet.
I can't believe you got the either. I didn't know that you got that. That's crazy.
It's good, isn't it?
That is really nice. Well, one's ticked. So Aussies have ticked.
100K Sports Hub. Australia to win the Ashes.
When I said is it Shy or Shay? Because I said Shy and I got ripped online for when we did that video, Morgs. Is it Shay or Shy? Shay. So me and Jeff, we keep calling him Shy. The Shy guy.
I didn't know that.
Number 2.
You can call it whatever you want.
On our preview pod, Morgs, it sounded a little bit loose. So shattered at the start of the season when Jeff was overseas. It said Stafford could win MVP, $41. Didn't, for some reason, put any money on it. Stupid me. Anyway, we have him riding in a futures bet. Stafford to win the MVP. We got him at $19. Into Brisbane to win the flag at $95. So that's a great investment.
Great bet.
That's an awesome investment.
Great bet.
And I just have to clear something up for the fans. Because on Dobe 100K, I've been getting some inboxes. Dobe Futures, you're on. What a bet. What a bet. Via Sistina got up. Dodgers to win the World Series. Into Aussie to win the Ashes. You beauty. Everyone's like, what a bet. That's riding. Unfortunately, the Dodgers were paying the same to win the game 1 as they were to win the series. And I accidentally clicked the Dodgers to win game 1. So all that money we put on that future bet is gone. We went to look in the pending bets. I'm like, where'd the bet go? Jev's like, you accidentally clicked them to win game 1, not the series. So
yeah, just win that.
We lost a lot of money on that, which I apologize for. But if anyone else wrote it, you're still on. So well done. Dobe Futures did us dirty. Sorry, lads.
It's a good ride. Enjoy the ride, lads. Honestly.
What a cock up.
So let's talk a bit of NFL, boys, just to finish up the pod. So A question I sent to Morg today to ask Tommy on his pod, and I want to ask you boys. I'll go you, Das. Start one, bench one, cut one. Bijan Robinson, Jameer Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor.
Start Taylor for this season. Taylor.
No, it's just start, bench, cut.
I start Taylor. Bench. Gibbs. Cut.
They'll be
Bijan.
retired soon.
Cut
Who'd you
Bijan.
cut? Bijan.
Yep.
Morgs, who are you?
Yeah, I think that's the only answer right now, isn't it?
He's meant to be the prodigy.
100%. I would cut Jonathan Taylor tomorrow. He is nowhere near as good as those two. I would cut him in a heartbeat. I would start Jameer, bench Bijan, cut Jonathan Taylor. I don't care how good his season's going. He is not as talented as those two. They are absolute freaks of nature. I would take them any day. Who would you rather on the Rams, Das?
Jonathan Taylor.
You'd rather Jonathan Taylor than Bijan Robinson right now?
Yes. Is that a hot
Who would you
take?
take on the Hawks?
Is that a hot
absolutely.
take? I'll take Jonathan Taylor, 100%.
I could hear the Gibbs argument. I'd listen to but I would not listen to the Bijan. Especially like you think about 2 years or 3 years ago, Jonathan Taylor had a very similar season to this. Like it's not a fluke.
I don't think he's anywhere near those guys. All right, we'll do one more just quickly. Start, bench, cut. You got to be quicker this time, Das.
Sorry, mate.
Puka Nakua, Jackson Smith in Jigba, Jamar Chase.
Fuck, that's good.
Start Puka. Bench JSN. Chase, you're done.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Morgs.
Like
fucking is.
with conviction as well. With conviction.
Wow. It's so funny how differently we see it, Morgs.
Yeah, I will go.
Look at the man.
Yeah, fuck. Are they going to be retired? Yeah,
I'm
what are you?
Puka. I'm cutting Puka. He's
So-
not as good as those two.
My only thing is, I reckon if you put Puka on, say, if Puka was with Jacoby Brissett, I think he would look like us, maybe. Maybe.
Stafford.
Yeah,
I just
Yeah.
think he profits off Stafford. He profits off Stafford a lot.
He's the man.
But I mean, everyone profits from their quarterback.
Would he be putting up the same numbers with Joe Flacco as Jamar Chase is right now?
Probably.
Mark H had 16 catches.
I reckon he would. You just keep throwing to Puka. He runs over guys and catches it over anyone. He just runs through blokes. I would take Puka.
Their skill sets are very different. Hey, can I just very quickly, just while we don't go past it, because I quickly got it up. So I find MVP really interesting. I don't know. Some people find it boring. Tommy reckons he finds it boring because he reckons only 3 people can win it. But like 4 weeks ago, I was like, okay, Baker's won it. I don't know. I just convinced myself. I think it's fun. But I just had a quick look at the Rams' schedule. So they play the Seahawks this week.
Yeah.
Our record is, or the Hawks' record, 5-0 away from home. So, but we struggle against the Rams. I would, if I had gun to my head, I would take the Rams this week. I really would. Then they play the Bucks at home, Panthers, Cardinals, Lions. Lions is a tough one. Hawks again. I'll be there. Finish the year with the Falcons and the Cardinals. That's
a 6-2. If that was 8 games, or that's 2 losses max.
6-2, 20 tuds. It's very hard to see him not winning it.
Yeah, it is so. Unless Drake May I can see Drake May falling off a little bit. That just feels like Stafford's a lock.
But
Doesn't
don't you
throw
think
picks anymore.
Don't you think a lot of their narrative, it's all about storylines as well? Like, you've got this guy, like he's been in Detroit, like everyone said he was good, but he couldn't really win. Now he's won a Super Bowl. Now he's coming out playing lights out. Is that not the feel-good story? Like, Drake May could win another 5, but they're like, this guy in the twilight of his career, just balling. Yeah. Everyone loves it. California, he looks good. The team's rolling McVay. It just feels like as long as he stays healthy, they're going to give it to him.
The only thing,
sorry, Lou, you go.
The only thing I love, the long-term storylines are 100% part of it, but I also love that short-term storylines are part of it. If Sam Darnold goes into the Rams building and Stafford doesn't play that well and Darnold plays lights out, it will really damage Stafford's run and it'll help Darnold. He has to do more because our wins haven't been as impressive, but I just love how single games will mean so much. And then when they award the award, they'll think about these sorts of games. So I just love that.
Couldn't agree more. And the way... he's paying $4 right now. This weekend decides whether he goes to $2.50 or to $7.
Yep.
Like if Darnold beats him, he might go out to 7. Drake May might be $1.90. If he just dusts Seattle, who everyone says is the best team in the comp right now, He'll be $2 runaway favourites. Matt
If
Stafford.
you want,
Absolutely love it.
if you want value, if the Rams lose, hammer Matt Stafford again.
Get on him again.
Because they're going to verse him. They're going to verse Seattle again. So if he pushes out and then beats him again, recency bias, he's just going to come straight back in. If you like someone, if they push out, just keep hammering them. Keep hammering them.
So, yes, great. It's great betting advice, Das. Thank you. You know, boys, I'm sure you've got one in your life. There's just live sporting performances you were at that are just etched into your mind. One night when Buddy Franklin first came to the Swans, we played the Bombers at Marvel Stadium. He kicked the easiest 7 on Michael Hurley in every which way. Outmarked him, led up, got him out the back, however he wanted, he kicked it. I remember every goal like like it was yesterday. Das, I'm sure there was a Fev performance or something. You can recall all 9 goals he kicked on Harry O'Brien or something.
Yep. I remember them all. Harry O'Brien.
Morg, have you got anything that just comes to mind?
Mitch Nevitt's mark this year down at Skilled Stadium was
awesome.
Was one of the better marks I've seen live in the goal square. And Nasser's first quarter against the Blues this year. I've never seen a first quarter like it.
I just say that to say, watching Matt Stafford in person was the first NFL game I've ever gone to 2 weeks ago against the Saints. He had 280 yards, 4 touchdowns. The ball wasn't even in close to getting picked off or in danger at all times. He was absolutely perfect. He went 24 from 32, so 75% passing. He was just fantastic. And it's like, I'll remember how well he was moving forever. It's why I've got a bit of bias towards his MVP, lads.
That's more than fair.
All right, let's just get up the slate. Just to finish off, we're going to just have a quick look at the 100K because all the legs aren't out. But Washington at Miami, or is it Miami at Washington? Let me just, Washington at Miami. Any 100K legs that jump out to you in that game?
That's a stay away game. That's too early. I hate both these sides. One week they're good, one week they're shit. There is nothing that stands out.
Stay away-ish.
Yeah, it might sound a little bit obvious, but I just think A-Chain saw him live against the Ravens. He's been underrated for so long, and I honestly think he's a must bet every week. Like he is so underrated, so talented. I think yards and touchdowns for sure.
I don't have this. I'm pretty sure he's had a stat mate 50 yards in every game this year.
Yep.
Carolina at Atlanta. Carolina are 3.5-point favourites. They beat them 30-0 about 4 weeks ago. They kept them scoreless. Like, is there anything that jumps out? Carolina with some extra points. Anything you like in this game? They held Bijan quiet. What would you take?
Our man Rico Dowdle, Jev, for a nice $1.29, 65 yards. So his last 5, he's had 183, 79, 54, 130, 53. You just think, like, they've got faith in him. I love that $1.29 leg early.
Great leg, Das. If we need to bulk it up, even Rico Dowdle for a touchdown as well. He had one last week. Morg, anything that jumped out to you in that game?
I just like to look at Drake London. You don't often get a chance to go Drake London. I backed him for most touchdowns at the start of the year. That's a horrendous bet. But $1.95 to score. He's had 5 touchdowns his last 5 weeks. And then even just for receptions, that's sort of a new thing we're getting on this year in terms of receptions. I know you're loving that, Jev. 8+ receptions, you get $2.65. He's had 8 or more the last 4 weeks. $2.65 is awesome.
Yeah, fucking oath. And he gave Sauce Gardner a bit of the business over in Germany on the weekend. Next game, Houston at Tennessee. Tennessee off a bye. CJ Stroud back. Do the Texans just win here?
I think they do. You just got to back CJ. He's been a bit hot and cold. I don't mind him for a couple of passing touchdowns. We don't have the odds there yet, but I don't mind. If his line's 1.5, I could see him throwing 2 easy. Easy throwing 2. Like Colin says, he throws a tidy foot. He throws a nice spiral. So I like him.
Yeah, rate the spiral take. I think that the Texans actually might be good. So, I think I agree. I think you might just take the $1.31, Jev.
See, I'm going to stay away from it.
Okay.
I learned last week after a bad beat, division games when they go on the road. So when Buffalo went to Miami last week, everyone had the Bills at $1.25 in their multis. Like, they'll just dust them. You just got to stay away from divisional road games. Like, Titans are coming off a bye. Their whole life will be just beat the Texans this weekend. So I wouldn't touch that $1.30 if I'm honest. I just wouldn't touch it. Next one, Chicago at Minnesota. Anything. Chicago, $2.40. They've won 5 games in a row. They're actually awesome. Caleb's a bit of a dog, or is it a bit of a myth? Das?
So let me riddle you this. What would you go? So for 200 passing yards for Caleb, back in LA, USC boy. Oh, sorry, at Minnesota. But sorry, indoors. So he's had 252, just under 200, 285, 280, 220. But for 200 yards, we're getting $1.40.
That's pretty good. That's
$1.40 for 200 yards. So he's only gone under one. So he's averaging about 250. He's balling. He's playing with a bit of confidence, getting some checkdowns. I love that at $1.40, Morgs.
Yeah, I like that as well. And I don't think Ben Johnson's going to want to take the ball away from him and sort of and stifle what he's building. I agree. I think he's going to want to play into his confidence, keep passing. I kind of like Justin Jefferson. I know this is a tricky one, but I just think they're going to have to force feed him. They're going to have to do something to keep him relatively happy. Yeah, obviously, McCarthy's not living up to what they thought he might be, or maybe they knew this because he got soft bench start of the year. But I don't know. I'm sort of happy to just keep going back to Jefferson until he has that sort of breakout game in terms of just his own stats, because I think it's got to come sooner or later.
Darcy, if you watched the Giants-Chicago game, pretty sure Caleb had 4 or 5 drops because he threw the ball too hard at his receivers. Mm-hmm. They reckon he throws an absolute piss missile. They were hitting him straight in the hands and they were just dropping them. So, yeah, I like that 200 yards is a lock. He will give it an absolute chance. Great leg for the 100K, Darcy. Tampa at Buffalo. Tampa off a bye. Are they off a bye? No, they got done by the Patriots last week.
Patriots
got them last week. Bills got done. Bills are in a bit of a must-win situation now that they lose this. They probably can't win the division. So, good game. Bucky Irving's back. This just feels like points, doesn't it? This feels like 30-28.
You know what screams? You know who they need? They need Superman. That screams Josh Allen. Josh Allen's going to have a game where he's going to have 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns. So, for one, he's $1.74. In the personals, if you like him for Great 2, bet. It's $5. If he has a trifecta, that's $18. So it just feels like games on the line. Same thing when it's him versus the Chiefs. It's like, what does he have to do? Anything to win. They're in this position now, which I'm sure Bills fans weren't expecting this time of year. I love him for $1.74. If you like him for 1, Jev, you love him for 2, $5.
And just going off that, if Josh is rushing one in, I like Baker anytime as well. I love when he gets scrambling and they just go and it goes Josh one end, Baker the other. I wouldn't have it in the 100K. I would take Josh for a rushing touchdown in the 100K for sure. Morgs, anything that jumps out to you?
Yeah, I love Baker's passing yards. 225, you can get $1.90. I just think he came out. He had a go at his coaches, I think. He sort of talked about killer instinct. And Buffalo's defense, low-key, a little shaky. So, 225 I loved. Just for the $1.90 in the 100K, we're going to have to take some risks.
And we've got to take Emeka Ibuka for something. They are on the same page. He is a freak. Chargers at Jacksonville. Chargers have to fly all the way cross country. Jacksonville have no more Travis Hunter for the year. Trevor Lawrence really knows how to lose a game. What do we like? It's like Chargers. Do we just like the Chargers at $1.67? We can't trust them that much. They got no tackles. Is this a bit of a stay away game?
I look at this. This seems to be a little bit of a sharps game, and I don't watch either of these sides. And I look at the names, and I don't want anything to do with it. I might have a look at StatMate, have a look at some hot stats if I want to fill up. But personally, I'm going through the slate. Like, is Lad McConkey just going to get a few yards? Like, Lad's probably the only one I can trust.
Yeah, but if you've got StatMate up there, Das, can you tell me Lad McConkey's last couple of games and what he might be paying for 50 yards? I like that as well.
I can after Morgs gives you a leg.
Luke?
Well, I was going to say stay away. One, because I don't have enough of the odds that I can see. Like, I think you're right, Das. It's a real sharps game. There's some money there, but I can't find the deep, deep money.
So his last 5 games?
Yep.
So he's averaging 83. He's at 100, 67, 88, 56, 107. So he's 100% his last 5. Lad McConkey, let's go.
No more Travis Hunter. They've only got one cornerback now. Oh, they're going to play 2, the Jags, but no one of note. That feels like 65 yards, Lad McConkey. If we're getting like $1.60 for that, that is a great bet, lads.
I like it, Joe.
Cincy at Steelers, anything jumps out of you. Cincy, Joe Flacco, he will throw it around the yard. Jamar Chase off a bye.
I still like this value. I know he didn't have it 2 weeks ago, but the 35-yard market for receivers just seems to be value. Like, DK Metcalf has to get involved this week, doesn't he? For 35 receiving yards, $1.29.
The Bengals, that is great. The Bengals their defense is crap. Take him for $50. What are we getting for $50?
$1.69.
Love it. Morgs, anything jumps out to you?
T. Higgins touchdown. He's had 5 his last 4 weeks. $2.35 you can get for one. Flacco is not going down without a swing. He's just going to keep dealing. As you said, the defense is shit. Even someone like a Steelers could put up 28 points. So I think, I still think we've got to take touchdown scorers for the Bengals while Flacco is wheeling and dealing.
They lost a game against the Jets that was unlosable, the Bengals, so that would be fuming. Green Bay at New York Giants. Jameis Winston playing quarterback for the Giants. They reckon he's going to throw the ball around the yard. Micah Parsons is going to tackle him so fucking hard. Anything that jumps out to you. I think Green Bay are so mid.
You can't set Jameis's line at anything, and I'm not going to take the under. It's at 230 passing yards, and I'm going over, baby. I think at $1.87, it is the best bet to watch all weekend. You watch. They might be down, and you know he's just going to come out with a rocket launcher and just start throwing piss missiles down the field. Jameis Winston over is the funnest bet you will get on this weekend. It's the funnest prop bet. It's like the Joe Danaher experience.
Love that.
If he said he's line at 2.5, is he going over under? 230.5. I'm riding the over. Let's go, Morgs.
100%. I was going to say 200 plus. You just took it more. $1.36 for 200, but fuck that. Take the line. I love it. You have to back Jameis.
Another one that's an absolute lock is Josh Jacobs to score in that game. Running back score on the Giants. They just score on us. And running quarterback. So Josh Jacobs, anytime he scores every single week as it is, we'll probably get $1.60, but that's going in the bet. The biggest game of the year, arguably the number one game. You two should have a straight up head-to-head bet on this. Seahawks at LA. This game's fucking awesome. Everything about it is awesome. Is anyone buying the Kool-Aid of the Seahawks haven't really beaten anyone yet? Like the last couple of weeks, you've been great. You've been up 28-0 in both games, but it's been against Mariota and Jacoby Brissett. You haven't seen anyone like Stafford yet, Morgs. Are you feeling that, or you think you're better than that?
No, I'm always very cynical with my own teams, and I agree. I just think our quality of wins, we're on a couple of lists today of number one in power rankings that I heard on some podcasts. I just don't think we're that team just yet. I hope we are, but I think we've got to prove ourselves. So yeah, even I had a look. You used to get 3 points. So 3 points used to be the line if you're playing at home. That was your advantage. It's sort of come into about 1.5 these days. It's a little bit different after COVID. I don't really know why, but a 1.5 sort of is the advantage. But yeah, so it's -3. They reckon the Rams are just favourites, and I think just the way Stafford's playing, and again, I've just seen us lose too many times to the Rams. So, look, I'd love to see us win, but yeah, gun to my head, as I said before, I think Rams win, Das.
I still think there's something in it, though. If you're playing good football, you look at teams that go on a run at the back end of the year. Doesn't matter who they're beating, as long as you're playing well. And you guys are playing well. So, when I look at this slate, I want to put every person in. I want a Matt Stafford. Pick your market. Is it 250? Is it 275? Is it 200?
Again.
Is it one touchdown? I don't care. I want a Matt Stafford market. Sam Darnold's probably going to throw for 2. Devontae Adams, he's going to have 50, has it every week, and probably a touchdown. Puka's going to have 90. Blake Corum's probably going to have 25, rushing yards. So you can get him for 20 rushing yards at $1.40. I love that. Kenneth Walker, every player's going to get involved. This is a betting heaven. I can't wait to give out our final predictions for it, because this is betting heaven.
Jackson Smith and Jigga is going to get involved. Yeah, just look. I've got the Seahawks schedule here. So you lost at home to the 49ers. You beat Aaron Rodgers. You beat Spencer Rattler. You beat Kyler Murray. You lost to Baker Mayfield. You beat Trevor Lawrence. You beat, what's his name? CJ Stroud. You beat Jacoby Brissett, and you beat Marcus Mariota. So it's nothing. You haven't seen anyone like Stafford yet. Anyway, that game's awesome. Jackson Smith and Jigba will cook as well.
Can I just say,
every week.
I want to try and get a custom market, and I think we can still win if this happens. Darnold 2+ and to throw a pick. 100% that stat line is happening. He's throwing a pick.
Love that.
Actually,
49ers at Cardinals.
Before we go, is this happening? Can you guys see this? In the Rams building, Cooper Kupp scores a touchdown.
Oh, that's a good 100K leg. What are we paying?
$4.50.
That's a great 100K leg.
He got chased down on the weekend, had that run.
Yeah.
How much can you see a little Santa goes to the fans? You can see it now. Yeah. $4.50.
I reckon we build the 100K around that. Fuck it. That's fun as. Fun as. Yeah, nice. Couple we'll go quickly here. San Fran at Cardinals. CMC didn't score last week. Feels like CMC, doesn't it? Cardinals stink.
Yeah, I got nothing for you.
Me neither.
Das, anything?
No, CMC score.
Baltimore at Cleveland. Baltimore just give them the business, don't they? Like $1.24, that's a good bet.
Yep, definitely.
They've got to win. They just win.
I really want to start
hope we
betting on
see
Derrick
Shadua.
Henry again. Like, I want to get him.
Nah.
It's a late window. I know, but
Nah,
I can't trust him. But I want to. I want to bet
I'd rather
on
them-
the big fella.
My favourite bet of the week, the Chiefs to beat the Broncos in Denver off a bye. The Broncos have won like 12 in a row at home. They're on a 5-game win streak, and they are crap. This is the most must-win game the Chiefs have had in the regular season in about 4 years. $1.48 head-to-head. Give me the Chiefs to win this game.
I like every time we're
Just
back...
quickly.
Yeah, go, Morgs.
Sorry, mate. I just quickly take Derrick Henry 65 plus rushing yards. It'll be in the 100K, $1.53.
Okay.
Thanks.
Every time we watch the Chiefs and we bet on Rashee Rice, whatever we have him for, he gets. If you have him for 50, he gets 50.
fucking
If you have him
awesome.
for 70, he gets 70. If you got him for a touchdown, he's 225. I think he scores. I like it. It's a late window game.
Then
he's had 2-1-1.
I don't think there's a better game to anchor the 100K. Detroit versus Philly. I love betting on Detroit. Goff throws it. Amon-Ra gets it. Jahmyr Gibbs gets it. He rushes it. He receives it. He scores touchdowns. Laporta gets it. Saquon's going to get it. AJ Brown needs it. Bloody Dallas Goddard likes it. Just this feels like we can have about 7 legs out of this game.
There is so many things that I like in this game, Jev. Like even I've got a leg here.
Montgomery,
so
anytime, is always a good bet.
You know, you said if Josh Allen's scoring, Baker might go the other way. Is this the most Dan Campbell thing of all time to have Jared Goff get in a tush push at $17?
Oh, that is such a good call.
Yeah,
that is the best singles call. Jared Goff anytime at 17-1. I love that. Tush push him in and just fuck you to Nick Sirianni, you fuckwit.
Yeah.
Lou, anything that jumps
Yeah,
out?
the other thing that I just feel like, is this a bit of a trap game? Do they dirty it up? The Eagles dirty up the lines? And not, where is it? It's at Philly. So it's not in a,
like
it's not in
Philly
the dome.
Green Bay was. Everyone thought Philly Green Bay was going to be overs. It was 0-0 at halftime, finished 10-7. It stank. It absolutely stank.
I don't think the Eagles want a track meet. They don't want that. That's the last thing they want. They want to dirty it up. But having said that, Detroit will want to score. I love Hurts 175 passing yards for $1.40.
Nice.
$1.40 is crazy. He's had it 5 times in a row. I just think he's going to have to pass it. He's not going to be able to just hand it off all game because Dan Campbell's coming for you.
And then Dallas off a bye at Las Vegas Raiders.
Gross.
This just feels like Dak, CD, and George Pickens, doesn't it? To anchor the 100K, Dak's over, CD's over, CD touchdown. We like that.
Happy with that. Yep.
Dak seems like the ultimate teammate, and this is like the first game after that player passed away. And you just feel that, like,
True.
I don't know, the Cowboy just feels like this is going to be like $1.53 I'd probably take, even though I don't like head-to-heads that much with these teams. But you just feel Dak's going to put on a show. Don't you reckon? Like, the Cowboys are just going to come out and just give it their all. So anything to do with Dak or even CD for yards.
That's been an extra 40 minutes on the 40 minutes of pod we already did. That is going to be a long show. Thank you for everyone that listened. That was the summer rodeo with the full barn. Morg's joined us. Mitch Cleary. Thank you to everyone that's made it this far. Remember, like, subscribe, share to a mate. If you're just looking for an off-season pod, you want to hear a bit of footy, you want to hear a bit of NFL, we're trying to get a guest on every week, so we appreciate anyone that made it this far. Thank you so much.
Can't believe we didn't even talk any cricket next week.
Next week. I got something big that cricket's never seen before next week.
Boy.
Oh, boy. All right, lads, enjoy. See you next week.
What are you prepared to lose today? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.